Welcome to my channel Max My Heartbeat. Students, till now we have learned differentiation, how to do differentiation, how to find the slope of tangent to a curve, and examples related to first principle and other examples, and also graphical approach to differentiation. Okay, with that I have completed my first chapter, differentiation. Now let us move to our next chapter, new chapter, that is relations and functions. Okay, so before going to relations and functions, let us see the basic concept for understanding the relation is a set. Okay, already I have explained about sets also in my previous videos. So if anyone has any doubt after listening this class, also go through those videos, then you can understand about set very clearly. Now I am giving just brief explanation about a set. So a set is a well defined collection of objects. A set is a well defined collection of objects. What is the meaning of well defined? Well defined means having a definite meaning. For example, if I take a set of natural numbers, means here this set contains what? Natural numbers. Already we know natural numbers having some definition, that is numbers which are used for counting objects are called natural numbers. So this is a well defined collection. So this is called a set. Understood? Means if you ask about set of natural numbers, everyone will say that set of natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Am I correct? Yes, these are only natural numbers, no? Are there any other natural numbers? Any other special type of numbers other than this? No. If you ask anyone, they will say natural numbers means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So this is called a well-defined collection of objects. Okay? This is about definition of set. Next we will see about operations of sets. Already all this I have explained in my previous videos. Just a brief explanation once again I am giving. So next about operations on sets. This is also in my previous video. If anyone is missing, means just go through those videos, you can understand. So first operation is intersection. Second one is union. Third one is difference. Fourth one is complement. And last but not the least, cross product. So these are the 5 operations on sets. Already I have explained about intersection, union and difference. Now I will explain about complement and cross product. But first, for all this explanation, I need 3 sets. One is a universal set. For suppose I am taking first 10 natural numbers in my universal set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on up to 10. This is my universal set, and I am taking one set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and my set B is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, these are my 3 sets. One is a universal set, one is set A and other one is set B. Now I want intersection. So A intersection B means nothing but common elements in both A and B. So what are the common elements in both A and B? So 2 is common and 4 is common. So A intersection B means 2, 4. Next A union B. A union B means writing all the elements in both the sets only one time. Okay. For suppose first let us write all the elements in set A. Okay. Then already we have written 2, 4 here. So no need to repeat again. Only one time we have to write. Remaining elements are 6, 8, 10. So this is A union B. Okay. Next difference. Difference means A minus B or B minus A. Okay. A intersection B, B intersection A. There also we can write however we want. Okay. Here also A union B and B union A. However, both are same. But let us see difference. A minus B. So how to do A minus B? A minus B means Subtract set B from set A means common elements you have to take back, means strike off, and the remaining elements of A we should write for writing A minus B. So what are the remaining elements in A here? 1, 3, 5. Okay. Next B minus A. So same like A minus B. Here also first we have to strike off common elements and write the remaining elements of B here. So what are the remaining elements of B here? 6, 8, 10. Okay. So A minus B is 1, 3, 5 and B minus A is 6, 8, 10. Are these two sets equal? Is A minus B equal to B minus A? No, no. So A minus B is not equal to B minus A. Very, very important. Understood? Up to here everybody understood now? Anyone has any doubt? I hope everybody have seen previous videos and understood up to here. So now let me see what is A complement. Sorry, once again I have to write A new value, universal set, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on 10. So set A is first 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this much is enough for my union. For suppose I want to write cross product, then I will take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 also. So okay, cross product I will explain with some other example. Just we will see complement now. Complement is nothing but A dash. A dash means mu minus A, means universal set minus set A. So in universal set what are the elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In A also the same elements we are seeing now. So the common elements we have to strike off and write the remaining elements. So what are the remaining elements here? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So mu minus A is nothing but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is called complement. Understood? A dash or A complement is nothing but universal set minus our set, that is A. So U minus A. So here common elements we have to strike off and remaining elements of U we have to write. That is A complement. Understood? In the same way we can write B complement also. So for suppose I want B complement. B complement means mu minus B. So U minus B. So U. Now we have to subtract B from U. Means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 we have to strike off. So once again I am writing all 10 elements here. So from these 10 elements what I should strike off? 2 in both, 4 in both, 6 in both, 8 in both and 10 in both. So what are the remaining elements here? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So mu minus B is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is B complement. Understood everybody how to write complement of a set? Okay. So these 4 are operations on sets and one more is their cross product. So everything, so our relation starts from cross product. So understand the cross product very carefully. Okay. So now just I will take only 5. For suppose my set A is containing only 3 elements 1, 2, 3. Okay, and set B is containing only 2 elements small a comma small b. Okay, how many elements in set A? 3 elements, that is 1, 2, 3. How many elements in set B? A comma B. Up to here everybody understood? So now let us see how many elements we will get in A cross B. So A cross B is nothing but we have to write down ordered pairs. Pair means how many elements? 2 elements, am I correct? So ordered pair. How to write ordered pair? For suppose x comma y is my ordered pair. Then if I am writing x comma y, this is not equal to y comma x. Understood? When x comma y you have to write only, you have to write x comma y only. We should not write y comma x in the place of x comma y. This is wrong. Clear? So now we have to write ordered pairs A cross B. So from starting from A element only we have to write. So first element of A and the first element of B, that is 1 comma A. Next from again first element of A, again now we have to take second element of B, that is 1 comma B. In the same way we have to take second element of A and the first element of B and wait, one more third element also is there. Okay, 1 comma A, 1 comma B. In the same way 2 comma A comma 2 comma B. Next 3 comma A, 3 comma B. So these are the elements of A cross B. So here till now in sets we got only single element, but we are getting pair of elements as single element. Understood? So here one element is nothing but two pairs, two numbers, means one pair of numbers is one single element here. Understood? So here in A cross B, how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So number of elements of A cross B is equal to 6. Up to here everybody understood? So here whatever we are writing the number of elements, this is called the cardinal number. Okay? So cardinal number of A cross B is nothing but number of elements of A cross B. How many elements? 6 elements. So whatever the set you take, for suppose you are taking the set A here. How many elements in set A? 3. So cardinal number of set A is 3. How many elements of set B? 2. So cardinal number of B is 2. In the same way, cardinal number of A cross B is nothing but 3 into 2 is 6. Understood? This is about cross product. Okay? Cross product of two sets. So from this cross product only we can derive a relation. First let us understand what is a subset. Afterwards we can understand what is a relation. So subsets. This one also I have done video about how to find out subsets of a given set. For suppose I am taking one set A as 1, 2, 3. Only one example I am taking. Listen clearly and carefully. So for suppose my set A is containing only 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. How many subsets? So subsets of A. How many subsets I am getting here for A? Is equal to, so I am starting with single element. So singleton 1 is 1 and single element 2 is other set and single element 3 is the other set. Up to here everybody understood? Next 2 elements, that is 1 comma 2. Next 2 elements, that is 2 comma 3. Next 2 elements, that is 3 comma 1. If not 1 comma 3, however we can write. Okay? Next elements, all 3 elements, that is 1, 2, 3 and also null set. And we know that every set, null set is a subset of every set. So these are the subsets we are getting. How many subsets we got now? Count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here if you observe, number of elements in set A is 3. So how to find out number of subsets of a given set? Number of subsets of a given set is equal to 2 power n. N where n is equal to number of elements of the set. N is what? Number of elements of the set. Okay? So now here our n is 3. So 2 power 3 is equal to 8. Same 8 only we are getting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Understood now? So how to find out number of subsets of a given set? What is the formula? 2 power n, where n is number of elements of the set. Up to here everybody understood? So now let us write subsets of a cross product. Okay? Now let us write subsets of cross product. Then we can understand what is a relation. Okay, first let us take same previous example. A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to A comma B. Okay, so these are the elements of A and B. So now I want cross product. So A cross B is equal to, how we should write? Already I have said no, first element of first set and first element of second set. So 1 comma A comma 1 comma B, 2 comma A comma 2 comma B. In the same way 3 comma A comma 3 comma B. So these are the elements of our cross product. Okay. Now if I start writing subsets for this set, okay, how many subsets are possible? So how many elements here? 6 elements. Already I have said one formula, no? That is number of subsets of a set is 2 power n. So here our n is 6. So 2 power 6 is nothing but 64 subsets we are getting here. For suppose I am taking one subset like this. Here subset means every set should contain only ordered pair of elements. Understood? Means for suppose I am writing 1 comma A comma 2 comma B. Is this a subset of A cross B or not? Okay, one more I will write here. You have to say whether that is a subset or not. So one more I am writing 1 comma single term set comma 1 comma A. Okay, is this set a subset of this A cross B? Yes. Is 1 an element of A cross B here? No, 1 is not present here. Is singleton 1 is present here? No, but 1 comma A is present. But what I said, every element should be element of A cross B, then only this is a subset. But this is not a subset because only 1 comma A is a subset here. These two we are not seeing here. Are we able to see these two elements here in the A cross B? No, right? That's why this is not a subset. Subset means every element should be an order pair like this. That is 1 comma A, 1 comma B, 2 comma A, 2 comma B, like this only. Understood? Even if you change the order, that is also not a subset. Why? Because here 1 comma A, very important. 1 comma A is not equal to A comma 1. Understood? This order pair, if you are writing like this, then you should write like this only. You should not change the order like this. Clear? If you write like this also, if you are taking that as an element, then that is not a subset. Clear? This is what I wanted to explain. So next, now let us write some subsets of this set. All 64 I can't write, only 2 or 3 I will write. Okay. Now what I will do means I will take only single element 2 comma A. Can I write like this? Yes. Yes. Next, now I will take 3 elements. 1 comma A, 2 comma A and 3 comma A. Is this a subset or not? Yes. So every subset of this cross product A cross B is a relation. Means here R1, this is R2, this is R3 and so on. How many R's we are getting now? 64 relations. Understood? So every subset of A cross B is what? A relation. Understood? So what is the relation now? Every subset of A cross B is a relation. I hope everybody understood what is a relation now. Okay, very important. Every subset of A cross B is a relation. So now let us see how many elements will be there. Already I have explained now. Number of elements in A cross B is, number of subsets of A cross B is 2 power 6, that is 64. So how many relations will be there in A cross B now? 64 relations will be there. Why? Because I said no, every subset of A cross B is a relation. Like that, how many subsets we are getting? 64. So how many relations will be there? 64 relations will be there. Understood everybody what is a relation? So every subset of A cross B is a relation. Okay, this is about A cross B and the number of elements of A cross B. Now let us see very important point. Is A cross B equal to B cross A or not? Let us see now. So A cross B is equal to 1 comma A, 1 comma B, 2 comma A, 2 comma B, 3 comma A, 3 comma B. So what are the elements of B cross A? So B cross A means we should start from B here. A comma 1, A comma 2, A comma 3. In the same way, B comma 1, B comma 2, B comma 3. So already I have said no, 1 comma A is equal to A comma 1. No. Therefore, A cross B is not equal to B cross A. Very important. Understood? So A cross B is not equal to B cross A. Okay. Next, already we have seen about subsets. Now let us see what is an empty relation and a universal relation. So we know that null set is nothing but empty set is a subset of every set. Am I correct? For suppose I am taking 1, 2, 3 here. If I take empty set, this is also a subset of every set. Am I correct? So in the same way, if I take empty relation, okay. So empty relation is a subset of this relation A cross B. Understood? So empty relation is a subset of A cross B. Understood? In the same way, universal relation means whatever the subset containing all 6 elements. We'll write this also as subset, right? That subset is called universal relation. Means the set containing the same subset as its subset. Okay? Every subset which itself every relation which itself is a subset of a given cross product that is A cross B is a what type of relation? Universal relation. Very, very important. Okay? Every relation which itself is a subset of a given cross product A cross B is a universal relation. Okay? This is about universal relation and this is about empty relation. Understood everybody? Sorry, this is empty subset. Here we should write universal relation, empty relation. Okay? And this is universal relation. Okay? Next, let us see the visual representation, means arrow diagram. How to represent a relation using an arrow diagram. Okay? So our next concept is visual representation. Visual representation means arrow diagram. Already in sets also we have seen no arrow diagram. Means in sets we will call it as Venn diagram, but here we call this as arrow diagram. Okay? So how to visualize a relation? For suppose I am taking a relation R is equal to 1 comma A, 2 comma B and 3 comma B. Okay? Is this a relation, a subset? Is this a relation or not? Why? Because this is a subset of A cross B. Anyhow, we know that A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to A comma B. Okay? So how to visualize this in a form of a relation? That is called arrow diagram. So first write down all the 3 elements of set A in the first oval and name that as A. Okay, so this is a set A. Contains how many elements here? 3 elements. So 3 elements we should write like this: 1, 2, 3. Next, in set B, how many elements are there? Only 2 elements. So here also in set B we should write 2 elements, A and B. Now 1 is mapped to A. So from 1 we have to draw a line like this with arrow mark facing A. Understood? So this is 1 mapped to A. Next 2 is mapped to B. 2 to B. In the same way 3 is also mapped to B like this. So this whatever we have shown here, the relation R is equal to 1 comma A, 2 comma B, 3 comma B. This is the visual representation. Is nothing but arrow diagram of a relation. Understood everybody? What is this called? Arrow diagram. And one more very important thing to note down is, so here the first element of B, okay, is mapped to A, that is 1. So here A is called image of 1. Understood? In the same way B is called image of 2 and 3. Why? Because B is mapped to 2 and 3 both. So we can call B as the image of 2 and 3. In the same way, if this is image, then I hope this also contains some name, right? So what is that name? So here 1 is called pre-image of A. Okay, so whatever the elements here are present, these are called pre-image. Understood? So from up to where we are mapping, those elements are called images, and from where we are mapping, those elements are called pre-images. In the same way, 2 is called pre-image of B, and 3 is also called pre-image of B. Everybody understood what is image and pre-image? Very, very important, right? Okay. Next concept, representation of relations. But let us understand one more in this concept. For suppose my relation R is equal to, I am taking only two elements, that is 1 comma A and 2 comma B. But in my set A, how many elements are there? 3 elements. In my set B, 2 elements, like this only are there. Then how to visualize this one now? Means arrow diagram of this, how to draw? Let us see that also. That is a special case. Why? Because here 1 is mapped to A and 2 is mapped to B. But 3 don't have any mapping here. So then we can we leave A without, can we represent A without 3 here? No, we should not do like that. Even when it is not mapped also, we should represent 3 here in our set A. That is very, very important. Understood everybody? So here I should write 3 elements as it is. 1, 2, 3, and in B, A and B like this. And now we have to map. That is 1 to A and 2 to B. This is our arrow diagram. Even when 3 is not having any mapping, then also we should represent 3 in our set A. Understood? This is what I wanted to explain. Okay? Next, let us see representation of relation. So, next concept, representation of relation. How to represent a relation. Okay? So, same like in the previous sets, in the set also we have 2 forms of representation, that is roster form and set builder form. So, the same we have to use here. What are the 2 representations? Same like set, we have 2 representations, that is 2 types of representation of set relation, that is roster form and set builder form. How to write roster form? If we write every mapping of a relation, then we call it as roster form. For suppose I am taking 1 comma 1, 2 comma 4 and 3 comma 9. This is my relation R. Okay? This is the roster form, means every element as it is I am writing here. This form is called what? Roster form. Okay? In the same way we have one more form, that is set builder form. So R is equal to X comma Y such that, so now by squaring X I am getting Y, am I correct? 2 square is equal to 4 and 3 square is equal to 9, so that I can write here X square is equal to Y. Okay, where X comma Y belongs to N is nothing but 1, 2, 3 and so on, or 4, 1, 4, 9 and all these numbers are natural numbers, am I correct? And if you observe clearly, only 1, 2, 3 we are writing. Are we writing 4, 5, 6 here? No, no. So that condition also you should write, that is X less than or equal to 3. So this is whatever we are representing here, this is called set builder form. Okay, this is the 2 types of representation of relation. Okay, and we have one more last concept, that is types of relations. Very, very important. Let us understand that. Only last concept in our today's topic, types of relations. So how many types of relations are there? So first type of relation is symmetric. What is the meaning of symmetric? If A comma B belongs to R, means if A comma B is a relation, then in such a relation B comma A should also exist. That is, B comma A also should belongs to R. Such type of relation is called what? Symmetric relation. Okay, I will explain clearly everything with an example. Just listen. So first one is completed. Next one is reflective relation. So what is reflective? If A comma B belongs to R, then A comma A belongs to R. Means here the image of B, A should be A itself but not B. If such an element exists in a relation, then that relation is called reflexive relation, if not reflective relation. Next, third one, transitive relation. What is transitive? If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, then there should be one relation such that A comma C belongs to R. Understood? Then such type of relation is called what? Transitive relation. Okay, let us understand this with an example. For suppose I am taking R is equal to 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 2 comma 1, and for suppose 3 comma 1 I am taking like this. This is my relation. Now let me see whether every relation is satisfying or not. So 1 comma 1, A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A should belongs to R. 1 comma 1, even if I reverse these two, this is the same ordered by 1 comma 1. So this is okay. Next 2 comma 2 is also okay, and 3 comma 3 is also okay. Here 2 comma 1 is there. The reverse of this, that is 1 comma 2 is there in this relation. So not there. In the same way 3 comma 1 is there. Is there 1 comma 3 in this relation? So no. So this relation is not symmetric. Understood? So every element should be there such that if A comma B is there, then B comma A also should be there. Then such relation is called symmetric relation. For suppose I am taking one more example. 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1. Okay? Now if you see 1 comma 2 is a relation, is an element. Is there 2 comma 1 or not? Yes. In the same way 1 comma 3 is an element. In the same way I have 3 comma 1 also. So such relation is what type of relation? Symmetric relation. Understood? The difference between not symmetric and symmetric relation. Okay? Next, let us go to our reflexive relation. So what is a reflective relation? So second one, reflective relation. So for that I am taking example 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 6. Okay, this is my relation. So let me see whether all the elements are there having the same images or not. So 1 comma 1 means same image, 2 comma 2 is same image, 3 comma 3 is same image. But 1 comma 3 means 1 comma 1 is also there. Yes, same image. If I take 2 comma 6, here also 2 comma 2 is there. So this is what type of relation? Reflective relation. Understood? Single first element image should also be the same element. So if I take 1, the image of 1 is 1. So 1 comma 1 is also already present here. In the same way 2 comma 6 means image of 2 is 2. So here also 2 comma 2 is present. So this in this relation, every relation is having, if A comma B is there, then A comma A is also there. So such type of relation is called reflective relation. Understood? This is an example of reflective relation. Next, last but not least, transitive relation. How to see transitive relation? So R is equal to 1, 1, 2, 3, okay, now let us see. So here now our first element 1, 2 is there and 2, 3 is there. Okay, and if I see here 1, 3 is also there, so 1, 3 is also there. Okay, and if I see here 2, 3 and 3, 3 means 2, 3, so 2, 3 is also there. Okay, and in the same way, still any other are there? So not there. Remaining we can't get same elements here. Only 2 will get 1, 2 and 2, 3 is 1, 3. In the same way 2, 3 and 3, 3 is 2, 3. Okay. So here we are getting transitive. Understood? Such relation is called transitive relation. Means if 2 is the image of A and 3 is the image of 2. 2 is the image of 1 and 3 is the image of 2. Then 3 should be image of 1. Yes, it is there. Okay. So this is transitive. In the same way, 3 is the image of 2 and 3 is the image of 3. Means 2, 3 should be other elements. So here 2, 3 is also there. Understood? Such type of relation is called transitive relation. Okay. So now let us see with a real time example. Only last one more example we'll take. So example R is equal to, now here it is given in set builder form, that is A comma B. A is brother of B. Now let us see whether this relation is satisfying, symmetric, transitive and reflexive or not. Okay. I will write in order: symmetric, reflexive and transitive. Now if A is brother of B, if A comma B such that A is brother of B, symmetric means what should be there? B is brother of A. A is a brother of B. Is it necessary that B should be brother of A? B might be the sister also, right? So here this is not transitive, right? In the same way, if we see reflexive, if A is brother of B, is A brother of A himself? No, we can't say that I am a brother of myself, right? That is not possible. That's why that is also not. In the same way, if I say A is brother of B and B is brother of C, then A is brother of C. Is this condition satisfied or not? So here A is brother of B means he is male, and we are saying B is brother of C, so B is also male. So without doubt we can say that A is a male, so A is brother of C, right? So this is transitive, so this is yes. At least now understood how to find out how the relation is symmetric, reflexive and transitive. Yes. So students, this is my basic concept about relation and types of relation, how to represent a relation using arrow diagram, etc. So students, if you like my video, please share my video to your friends and subscribe my channel. If it is possible, please give it a like and comment if any necessary. Thank you.